You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. It's been an interesting week for LSU with respect to the transfer portal. The portal opened on Monday, and as is the case with every college football team, you've had players enter the portal. It's just the nature of what it is now. More than 1,000 players in less than a week have jumped into the transfer portal. And LSU's number has reached double digits. The latest two are Marcus Dumerville, the offensive lineman, former four-star offensive lineman, and Derrick Davis on Monday night jumped into the transfer portal. Derrick Davis is kind of an interesting one. And it's interesting based on what his destination is. Here's what I mean. So Derrick Davis was a top 100 player in the country when he committed to LSU 2 years ago. He was a top 100 player in the country who committed and signed as a safety, but it also played running back, was an elite high school running back as well, but came to LSU as a safety. Well, look at what happened at the safety spot here the last couple of years. Of course, you bring in Major Burns from Georgia. This year you brought in Fouché and Brooks. You've signed some really good players as well. Jay Ward kicked back to safety. So you had a little bit of a log jam at safety there. And so it was tough to find playing time at that spot. Well, Davis, most notably this year, found the field against UAB as a running back because LSU had this litany of injuries. Josh Williams was hurt. John Emery was hurt. Armani Goodwin was lost for the season. So you had Noah Cain, and then they put Derrick Davis at running back, which he hadn't played at all during his college career, during his time at LSU, and he went back there and played really stinking well, which after the game prompted Brian Kelly to say this about Derrick Davis.
Should have moved him there sooner. I think what we saw that was his last game. He's at the 4-game threshold, and we want to preserve his year because we saw some talent there. So for the Derrick Davis fans out there, you won't see him again. He's done for the year. But, yeah, pretty excited about his future. And, we want to preserve the years that he has left. And it doesn't make sense now to put him in a game and have that be the 5th game. That's not fair to him. He made a decision to help us out, and we're going to make sure we help him on his end too.
That's why it's so bizarre. So Davis played in 12 games as a freshman in 2021. Mostly special teams, but only made 2 tackles, but played in 12 games a year ago. So that's 1 year burned. Brian Kelly comes in and does with Derrick Davis what he did with a lot of guys, which was preserve a redshirt year in case they needed it and to preserve their eligibility down the line. And after the UAB game, you heard him say this was a very conscious decision. He said, look, he helped us by playing running back, so we're going to help him and preserve his year of eligibility, and I'm excited about his future. Should have moved him to running back sooner. And that's why it's interesting that he's leaving. So I'm curious where Derrick Davis plays at his next stop. Here's why. If Derrick Davis wants to go somewhere to play running back, then I get it. Because LSU could return everybody at running back. Josh Williams has another year. John Emery and Noah Cain can each come back and play another year. Armani Goodwin's coming off of injury, and you've got 2 incoming freshmen as well. So I get it. If he wants to play running back, there's 6. Next year will be, in theory, could be 6 running backs, scholarship running backs on the team next year. Now, Emery could leave or someone could transfer. That could all happen, but you've got a lot of bodies at running back, which you didn't have this year. This year, you didn't have great depth. Next year, you kind of fix that. So if Davis wants to play running back, I get him leaving because he'll be able to find somewhere where he can go and get touches. It may not happen for him at LSU next year because you will have a lot of bodies. But if he wants to play safety, that's a little more bizarre because Jay Ward is heading to the draft, and Joe Fouché, his eligibility is expired. And so when I look at Derrick Davis, I mean, there are reps to be had and position battles to be had at safety for this team next year. Greg Brooks could return, but he primarily kind of played that nickel safety, that nickel sort of box safety. We look at Sage Ryan, who backed up Brooks in that nickel spot. There's a lot of opportunity at safety this year, which is the really bizarre part if that's what he wants to do. And we won't know until we see where he goes, but Todd Harris's eligibility is expired. So, you signed Jordan Allen last year and moved him to safety. Major Burns has more eligibility if he wants to return, which I suspect he will. Matthew Langlois is still there, but hasn't played a lot. I guess my point is, if Brooks returns, he's your nickel and Ryan backs him up. And if Burns returns, he's a starter provided he's healthy, but you got spots. You got jobs open. And Davis theoretically would have been a guy who could have played. So let's see where he goes and what his target is. Is he going somewhere to play running back or is he going to play safety? If he's going to play running back somewhere else, I get it. If he's going somewhere else to play safety, that's a bit more curious because he would have had an opportunity, presumably, to win a job there in that secondary in spring and then into fall. As far as the portal itself and how it looks for LSU, if we just run through the LSU transfer portal breakdown, here's how it looks right now. The players in the portal for LSU: Jack Besh, Demarius McGee, Raydarius Jones, Cole Taylor, Desmond Little, Colby Fields, Cam Wire, Derrick Davis, Phillip Webb, Antoine Sampa, and then, as we mentioned, Marcus Dumerville, which makes 11. So 11 in the portal. And as far as the offers that LSU has doled out, on 3 sites, 6 offers that have been extended via the portal. Kyle Morlock is the tight end from Shorter University. He's a grad transfer who picked up the offer in late November. He was a 2-time Division II All-American. Braden Fisk, the defensive tackle from Western Michigan, who will be taking advantage of a 6th season. Braden Swinson and Josiah Stewart are the 2 edge players from Oregon and Coastal Carolina, respectively. And a couple of new ones. Keon Bars, a defensive lineman from Arizona, and Paris Shand, another defensive lineman from Arizona. Those are 2 defensive linemen, and that's obviously a spot where LSU is looking to improve their numbers and depth and rotation there on that interior of the defensive line. So we'll see if LSU is able to land, or what of those players are able to land, if any. But it's pretty obvious where they are attacking in the portal. They are looking at defensive line. They're looking for depth on the offensive line. They're going to be looking in the secondary and at tight end, certainly. So the portal giveth, the portal taketh away. And LSU's continue to experience that every day. We'll see where the dust settles coming up here in about another 3 weeks or so, or 4 weeks. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.